Star Wars Outlaws did not have a very productive launch weekend over on Steam. We talked about this, and I took the numbers from the launch day on the 21st, that Thursday out there, and what was it, like 600 and some odd people were checking it out on release, and then I seen something on Friday, and I was fairly busy this past weekend, so I didn't have the opportunity to, follow up on Saturday or on Sunday, but to see that it didn't even get to 2,500 concurrent players on its first and only relevant weekend. But don't worry, that sale, it's supposed to be running until momentum, it'll have Joe-mentum on its side, guys. Don't worry about it. Any day now, those additional copies that they mailed out there, they'll start running in, and we'll just see this big old F curve happen in the middle of the night. Don't you worry about it. Star Wars Outlaws, we're out there to make the galaxy great again, right? No. Star Wars Outlaws had a chance to reach new players and pull a developer, Ubisoft, out of the red when it released last week on Steam. It failed. Yeah, you can see that right there. And yeah, here I am Monday evening, and we're a shade under 1,000 players, bro. Not good at all. Not good in so much of your long-term projections, because at the end of the day, this is a really bad game, okay? Actually, something connected to Star Wars Outlaws. I went back and watched at least a portion, okay? I was going to sit down, enjoy, relax after very busy weekend with the EFAP-related supercut of all of those guys playing this horrifically buggy, awfully written, poorly acted game, and I started to get bored with it. Not because, the clips aren't funny or anything like that. It's just the game is just such ass. Like, at the end of the day, with that 1.4 title update, still can't fix the underlying problem that you're renovating a house with these updates that has a foundation built on a swamp. It's rotten to the core. And for this to be the most expensive marketing campaign that Ubisoft has ever done, you're not beating those allegations, because people have seen this game for a while, and, well, it ain't it, okay? Deeply unpopular Star Wars title failed to draw a massive PC audience, resulting in a concurrent player count of its debut weekend that fell short of 2,500 players worldwide. This would be terrible showing for any AAA title, but it's even worse for a major Star Wars release featuring classic characters like Jabba the Hutt. And in the very near future, it's going to have Lando Calrissian. You could play Sabacc with Lando. Isn't that great? That's so fun, guys. So Outlaws faced a number of problems right away. First, it presented another female-focused Star Wars story. Yeah, where it was so very obvious. It's like, oh, you're just female Han Solo. Like, why can't we play as Han Solo? Oh, because it's set between Empire and Return of the Jedi. No. You could have done a Han Solo game. Okay, you could have just done an actual rogue scoundrel, space pirate game. You could have done that, but no. You wanted to have an uninspired, ugly brunette the actress who plays Kay Vess. She's anything but ugly, but in the game she's, actually but ugly. You did that for a reason. You did that on purpose. Just stop. After Star Wars sequel trilogy, The Acolyte, Rogue One, Ahsoka, season 3 of The Mandalorian, because Pedro Pascal couldn't be plussed to show up on set to film. All I had to do was just phone in a couple of "this is the way" reads and let Katie Sackhoff, Bo-Katan, take over as the actual Mandalorian. And a lot of Star Wars fans are burnt out on girl power. Well, yeah, exactly. Because the only thing that's been vaguely successful for Disney, especially on the streaming front, its season 2 isn't coming out until April, and Andor wraps up then, and what's left on the horizon? Oh, season 2 of Ahsoka. Yay, a lot of long pauses and staring out at the vistas and dragged out establishing shots. Can't wait for more of that. And oh yeah, the season 3 of a non-canonical cartoon in Visions. That's awesome. But really can't wait for that Mandalorian and Grogu movie. It's going to be so great, guys. Don't worry about it. Yeah, there's a multitude of reasons why this game is AIDS. Kay Vess, yes, played by Humberly Gonzalez. Yes, the developers tweaked the actress's appearance, making her less conventionally attractive. I mean, anybody like that. Like, bro, the sunken-in eyes, the jutted-out chin, the boxy appearance, and yeah, that mop that doubles as a hairdo. Like, I understand looking glamorous as somebody who's just hopping from system to system, generally presented as living in squalor, isn't exactly going to have runway accessible makeup. I understand, but still, could have done something. Now that the numbers are officially out there, because we never knew how many people were actually playing this on Ubisoft Connect or over on Ubisoft's servers, all we'd have to do is just listen to them and not report any of the sales data to go, it's probably a disaster. I think that's safe to say. And now that we can see it, tick up, or in this case, tick down at a rapid pace, we know that yeah, it's a flop. Okay, for every time that people just earnestly reporting this, it's like it doesn't seem like it's working out all that well. Yeah, there's insiders saying that the pre-orders were absolutely basement dwellers. There was no buzz surrounding this game outside of the bots that make corporate releases their entire being. This game was just once again another installment in the long list of failures that Disney Star Wars has put out. And because we can go ahead and now officially verify that, Ubisoft wants to censor Steam. Ubisoft now pressuring Steam to remove player count tracking after historic Star Wars flop. I mean, I think Ubisoft has a few more concerns and a couple of other fires that they should be looking to put out before getting rid of player count trackers. Like, if your entire building is going up in flames, are you really concerned about your neighbor's dog walking on your lawn? I don't really think so. A wild new rumor leaked from Insider at Fandom Pulse exposes Ubisoft's dissatisfaction with Valve and Steam for displaying concurrent player counts on its platform. Currently, the transparency is readily available through all of Steam's tracking tools from third-party websites like SteamDB, yes, Steam Charts, and I know those are the two big ones, at least the ones that I use. The problem with it, well, it's publicly embarrasses the performance of many of Ubisoft's titles like Star Wars Outlaws to gamers, to journalists, and investors. Everyone, much to the company's dismay. And according to an insider, Ubisoft is now actively seeking to pressure Steam to discontinue its player count tracking, which again, how much weight does Ubisoft hold at this point in time? They are a dying brand. Everybody can see it. So this could also be chalked up to, you know, the flailing actions of a brand on its last legs. And also, they just came back to Steam. Okay, like they had all of their old back catalog, but when it came to their new hot releases, they were keeping them on their Ubisoft Connect site, okay, or whatever they're calling it, Ubisoft Plus. I remember when it used to be called Uconnect. I'm going to call it Uconnect, okay? I'll be an old head here for a second. They just came back when they announced that, yeah, we're going to be working on Star Wars Outlaws to try to make it at least playable. Yeah, when we release the new update, we'll be coming back to Steam. See, and Assassin's Creed Shadows that we had to push off a few months, that'll be on Steam too. It'll be great, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't read any further into the fact that our sales are ass. Everything's going great. We just want to be able to cast a wider net to get more players in on the game, these great games that we're making. It's not a desperation ploy at all. No. Ubisoft and other companies want to pressure Steam to stop the tracker from giving out info they want to keep to themselves. Yeah, exactly. Because that's one great thing whenever we're talking about games on this one, because we can speculate until we're blue in the face when it comes to how well, you know, just staying in the realm of Star Wars here real quick, okay, and then just bringing up the appropriate picture, because I think that, you know, it does bear repeating. We could only speculate, okay, on how many people did watch The Acolyte, okay? We don't know anything about the real, true, honest viewing figures in real time. We have to wait about a month in order to figure out from Nielsen what we're going to be getting. And then when Samba TV comes out with their numbers, and they're normally fairly prompt about that, that is only a percentage of viewership on TVs from certain services. I think it's Roku and a couple of other streamers, Samsung TV being one of them. Well, we never get a full apples to apples comparison as to how many people are watching or engaging with the product. All we have to do is just wait from, you know, the benevolent PR gods over at Disney or whatever streamer is out there with their cancerous project and say, guys, don't worry, okay, Rings of Power Season 2 is actually got 15.5 bajillion eyeballs on it. Trust me, it's great, it's fantastic. We're just waiting for the most opportune time to announce that Season 3 is going ahead. It's not like we're looking at different ways where we could restructure this proposed 5-year plan so that we could go ahead and fast track everything, so we could just have a Season 3 and then maybe just, I don't know, kind of a truncated 4 or 5, or just, you know, a big one release for 4 and 5. Fuck, we have no idea what we're doing on this one. God damn it. There's certain ways that other studios and other entertainment mediums can go ahead and hide their failure, but when you're on Steam, when you're on the biggest PC platform that's out there, you are laid bare for the world to see. And in the case of Black Myth Wukong and Game Science, well, you can go ahead and immediately get that feedback that 2.1 million people are excited to play your game. Meanwhile, Ubisoft can get the confirmation that only 2,500 people are excited to play their game. But them, okay, Ubisoft and some other companies trying to pressure Steam to go ahead and obfuscate the obvious failure of their ideologically driven games. Because, yeah, Star Wars Outlaws, it's not really woke in the traditional sense. It's definitely intersectional. It's definitely girl power focused, but not deriding intergalactic white people or anything like that. It's not forcing lesbian relationships or making it all about that. It's just a bad game. Like, it's just really bad, poorly written, mechanically busted trash. But when the AAA gaming industry is getting desperate, when they're trying to band together to get Steam to try, or rather, to get them to not report the numbers anymore. Okay, when you got the likes of the ADL also leaning in over trying to make Steam curtail their more laissez-faire aspects about, you know, their forums. And we talked about this recently as well, with the ADL accusing Steam of being rife with extremism and anti-Semitism. U.S. Senator Mark Weathers, Democrat hack from Virginia. I can't quite remember his name, but it's Mark something or other. He's trying to crack down on Steam because they got Pepe's. You know that they're desperate because the games industry, yeah, they had quite a pronounced black eye for a vast majority of 2024. There were some great games, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth being one of them. And looking at, hell, even the Game Awards, you know, Game of the Year nominees, and a lot of indie hits, a lot of Eastern hits, not a lot of AAA space hits, especially on the Western front. A lot more Metaphor Refantasios, and a lot fewer Dragon Age the Veilguards. And in 2025, we see what is also on the horizon, and bro, it's going to be another tough year for gaming, but it's going to be a very productive year for gamers. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.